But man, you changed. You changed, man. You're damn fucking right I did. As it should be. And by design, I changed. Because I wasn't happy with where I was in life. I wasn't happy with where I was showing up. I wasn't happy with the man I was. So yeah, you're fucking right I changed. For the better. I showed up and did the motherfucking work. And I chose consistently not to stay the same. Because you can't anyway. Life goes on. Life changes. You cannot stay stuck in a stationary moment. It is impossible to stay exactly the same. Because in life, there is no stagnant. There is no hold. Time just keeps on marching forward. And we must march with it. Because you don't stay stationary. You don't stay in that one spot. You are either growing or you are dying, and there is nothing in fucking between. So we have to make conscious decisions on who we are wanting to be, because life will continue on. Life will continue moving forward. So we have to decide if we're willing to go with that, if we're willing to do the work to change, because you will change regardless of your choices. So why not be conscious of it? So much of our lives and so many people's lives is this fog of they're just existing and they're like floating through time and space without ever actually doing anything, without ever actually progressing forward, without actually any conscious thing. They repeat the same year over and over and over and over again. And they're changing as they go. They're becoming a worse and worse version of themselves, but they aren't even aware that they're just stuck on this treadmill of life without ever progressing into anything better. They're just existing and yet dying all at the same time. So yeah, we do change. We go through periods of life and we go through the progressions and into the next area of growth, but only if you're willing to do that, to willingly examine your life and look at where you're at and look at what's going on in your life and become the best version of yourself. Only if you're willing to take those action steps and do what is required. I was having this discussion with a friend recently, and we were talking about TV shows of all things. And we were talking about a TV show that we both loved back when we were in high school. And I was like, oh, did you know they're doing a reboot of it? And she was like, oh, I'm so excited. I've just finished watching it all again. It still holds up. It's amazing. And I was like, isn't it like 15 seasons? And she's like, yeah. She's like, you should totally rewatch it all again. And I was like, I am not going to do that. And she was like, what? Why? And I was like, I'm trying to not watch TV at all. Like, period, full stop, zero TV. And she's like, what do you mean? That was your thing. You were that guy that you watched all this TV. And I was like, yeah, I know. And I don't want to be that guy anymore. I want to be a better version. I want to be the best version of myself. I want to elevate myself. I'm trying to change. I'm trying to break those habits. I'm sick of being that guy. And she was like, oh, wow. Things really do change, don't they? It's scary how much they change. I was like, no, it's fucking fantastic. Life must progress on. I don't want to stay stuck in those moments. I want to continue to progress and see what I can create through this life. See what I can channel into and create in this abundant life. She was like, oh, well, yeah, I guess, but I miss those times and I miss that. Like who we used to be and what we used to do. And I was like, well, I don't. I'm excited about it. And of course I'm different. In my 30s, I've owned a business for 15 odd years, run my gym for 11 years. I've got 2 kids, I've got a wife. Of course I'm going to be a different man to who we were in high school. To be honest, I'd be deeply deeply fucking disappointed in myself if I was the same guy I was in high school. Not saying that I'm a perfect man by any stretch of the imagination now, but I don't want to be the same that I was. I don't want to continue being that guy that I used to be, and even the one I am now. Yeah, I am blissfully dissatisfied. I am ecstatic at how far I've come in this life and how much I've grown and how far I've reached in this point. But I am by no stretch of the imagination happy and satisfied with where I've ended up. There is more to be done. There is more to be gained. There's just more. If I can consciously make the decisions to do the stuff, there is more to be achieved in this life. I don't want to become stagnant. I don't want to get stuck in this point where I'm like, oh, this is it. Now we just go round and round and round as I slowly decay and slowly die and wait for death to come to me, because I died in my 20s or my 30s. But, I'm just living out the same life in this slow march to death. It sounds like a fucking horrible way to live. So no, I want to change. I want to grow. I want to progress. I want to wake up every morning knowing I did the work and I'm a little bit closer to the next goal, that I'm a little bit more changed, that I'm a little bit different because I did the work. That's what it's about. That's the choices I want to make. I don't want to be stuck stagnant. I love it when people are like, you changed. Yeah, I did, deliberately, by choice, and as should you. Doesn't mean that we can't still connect. It doesn't mean that we still can't share those things. But you should surround yourself with people who will grow with you, who will upgrade their life with you, who will push to be better versions of themselves with you. You don't want friends who are constantly calling you back. You don't want to be stuck with friends and family who are like, oh, no, you should continue being this way because this way serves me the best. No, you want friends and family. Well, you can't control family, but friends who will push you to growth, who will push you to be better, who will push you to continually push forward and be the best version of yourself. That is what you're seeking. You want people who are going to give you that nudge, who are going to continually push you towards a better version of yourself. Because growth is a requirement of life, basically. It's exactly who we should be and what we should be seeking. We should be constantly seeking to be the best version of ourselves. But you need people around you who are going to assist in that. You need people who are going to, as I said, push you towards that greatness. Greatness is a journey, a never-ending journey. It is this constant path forward, this constant trek towards who can we be? Who can we be on the other side of this? And therefore you need to grow. You need to change. I know I'm being repetitive on this one, but I cannot say it deeply enough that you should examine regularly every area of your life to see how you can continue to change. Like, what areas need improvement? And an unexamined area is an untracked, unexamined area is a life doomed to failure. And once again, words of wisdom to myself right here, because as I'm saying this, I'm like, there's the light bulb moment, there's the area I'm lacking in, and it's in my finances and a bit of my business side that, yeah, I don't track it. I am meticulous at tracking my fitness. I am meticulous at tracking my health. I am fucking fantastic at that. And not in the obsessed, like, calorie counting, macro counting way, but in the, am I doing good? Am I progressing? Am I ticking my action goals? Am I doing what is required? But if we want change, and we mean long-term change, we have to be able to track and measure. We have to see if the changes are happening. You know, not just in your personality, not just in your confidence, not in the grit and determination in the unquantifiable areas, but also in the areas that can be quantified. I was listening to one the other day and they were talking about it in terms of finances. And she was like, the woman I was listening to, and she said, I had this mentor and he's worth hundreds of millions of dollars. And he's like, how much money do you have in the bank? And she's like, oh, roughly. And he's like, no, exactly. And she's like, I don't know. Okay, how much money did you make yesterday? I don't know. Okay, how much gross revenue is your business doing? Oh, I don't know. And he's like, you are not going to change. You are not going to get the results you want until you meticulously and unquestioningly know every detail of that, every single day. Know to the cent how much money you have in the bank, how much you earned, how much your leads cost, how much, all that kind of stuff. And that can apply to any area. That if you want the, existential growth, you want it to be huge and massive and life-altering, then you need to pay close attention to it. You need to put this beacon, this shining light on this and know exactly where it is at. And then you can progress into change. And then you can push forward. And then you can know that you are changing and you're tracking it. But you should be working in all areas of your life that have value to you on improving, on changing every single day. We don't want to stay stagnant. We want to become the best version of ourselves. We want to get better. And once we've reached the best versions of ourselves, redefine what the best versions of ourselves is. As I said to you the other day, I was talking about my weighted walks, for example. That there is change coming in that. And I've reached levels of change that I didn't even know that that's what I was chasing. But here we fucking are. That I'd set a standard that I was starting to believe wasn't humanly fucking possible. Legitimately. I didn't think it was possible. I was talking about that, you should be able to not comfortably, but like once you get to a point, you should be able to cover 1,500 meters or 1.5 kilometers every 15 minutes. So 100 meters per minute on a weighted walk. And I was like, I cannot fucking do that. It's impossible. I kept trying. I'm like, I can't walk any faster. I'm about to crack the 5 kilometer mark in 45 minutes. So it is fucking possible. It is doable if you're willing to do the work. And on the flip side of that, because I track it, because I know where I'm going and how I'm going to get there, my worst days now are at levels that I would have been ecstatic to reach 3 months ago. So there's a point that used to be as far as I thought I could get in that 45 minutes. There's a point that I would constantly hit, and I was like, I just don't think I can walk any further. And I flew past that on one of the days when I was feeling low, when I was feeling like this shit is just impossible. I flew past it. And what I thought was my upper limit is about 1.4 kilometers less than what I've now discovered is actually, well, it's not even my upper limit, but where I'm at the moment. But I know that I'm making progress. I know that I am changing. I know that I am getting better because I track it. And I choose to deliberately get better. I've been working out for, 33? Shit. Nearly 20 years. Fuck, has it been that long? Oh my God. Yeah, nearly 20 years I have been working out. And yeah, that's right. I started working out when I was 14. I am in the best shape of my life at 33. I have improved more this year than any other year. I am getting better all the time and my knowledge continues to improve. But if I'd settled when I was 17, 18 and I was in pretty reasonable shape, if I'd settled maybe at college when I was at this ridiculous fitness level of cardio and aerobic capacity because I was playing collegiate level basketball. Maybe if I'd settled then. But no, you have to keep changing. You have to show up. And as you progress, you will lose people. People will leave, and that's a part of it. And it's not a malicious thing. It is not out of the desire to leave people behind, but it's as you grow and you transform and you become a different version. They can either come with you or they'll be left behind. And you have to be willing to make that sacrifice, because you cannot let your own growth be compromised by other people's unwillingness to grow. It's why choosing the partner is so important. It's why choosing who you surround yourself with, it's why choosing who you spend your most time with is so fucking important, because you must choose people who will elevate with you, who will grow with you, who will change with you. It's why if you end up in a relationship early on in life, generally speaking, they don't last or they turn into bad relationships. If you start a relationship at, anywhere between 18 and 25, oftentimes those relationships don't last. And the reason is that you haven't solidified who you are yet. You are still growing and you are still changing and you are still becoming the man that you are meant to be. So the person that you fell in love with or they fell in love with isn't the person that you are further down the track. So that causes problems, because then it is either, are they going to grow and change and develop with you? Or is it going to cause resentment because the person that they fell in love with doesn't exist anymore? It's why choosing that partner matters. It's why choosing the best version of yourself matters. It's why choosing to grow and unfortunately be uncompromising on that level of growth matters, because you have to continue to push forward. You cannot settle. You cannot stagnate. You have to keep being the best version of yourself. And only through doing that can you, I think, live a happy and fulfilled life. Because there isn't satisfaction in stagnation. There's satisfaction in doing the work, in growing, in pushing yourself to be the best version, in consistently leveling up, not just in one area, in all area. And that's the part I need to work on. Because I am nailing the elevating myself in the health and fitness world. That is my strong point. That's where I love and is where I thrive. Now I've got to elevate it in all areas, in finance, in business, in relationships, in all the other areas that I am not my best at yet. But I'm going to continue moving forward. And I'm damn happy that I'm continuing to change and grow. So that's what I'm going to leave with you. So if you took value from this, if you found something of note, please like, comment, subscribe. I'd love to hear from you guys. Please send it to someone who could benefit from it. Next, if you're ready to go all in on yourself, please shoot me a message. Let's see how far you can go, how much you can change, how you can step into the best version of yourself in 30 days. Let's get you into the Greatness Club. See if you're ready for that and see what's possible with our 30-day challenge. But until then,